Don't even dip your toe in the water. Unless you plan to swim, don't give a fucking inch. Unless you're planning to give in, don't even leave the nest unless you plan to fly. And no matter what, never say die. I said no matter what, never say die. I said no matter what, never say die. Don't ever say die. The strangest things, they'll hold you underneath their thumb and try to clip your wings, but the only way they win is if you quit. So never give in and don't take no shit. Don't even dip your toe in the water unless you plan to swim. Don't give a fucking inch unless you're planning to give in. Don't even leave the nest unless you plan to fly. And no matter what, never say die. I said no matter what, never say die. I said no matter what, never say die. Don't ever say die. Hey! The strangest things, they'll hold you underneath their thumb and try to clip your wings, but the only way they win is if you fucking quit. So never give in and don't take no shit. Don't even dip your toe in the water unless you plan to swim. Don't give a fucking inch unless you're planning to give in. Don't even leave the nest unless you plan to fly. And no matter what, never say die. I said no matter what, never say die. One more time, no matter what, never say die. Don't ever say die.
What's up, bro?
Hi, Wes.
How are you doing, dude?
I'm doing well. How are you doing?
I'm good.
Is this an okay time for you?
Yeah, it's good. Sorry, I was just stoned watching a Rolling Stones documentary on HBO, and was totally zoned out. And I was like, man, that one chimes in the background was off key. Oh, that's my phone.
I think I saw that. Is it it's like early covers like early Rolling Stone stuff?
Yeah, early stuff up till they're like a recent concert or like 50th anniversary thing.
Oh wow! Oh, maybe I didn't
they're
see
not
that.
allowed to bring the cameras in, but they're allowed to audio record the interview and everything like that. So it's cool.
No, yeah, I don't know. I think I think
it's awesome when you constantly hear like Mick Jagger will laugh like, so is your stage show and everything? Is it choreographed? Did you plan it out? Oh, no. And they always talk about actors and method acting and stuff like that. And it's like, oh, my God. He owns it, but he doesn't deny it, but he doesn't admit it. It was really good for his choice of words.
They're like 70s now? Yeah, 70s?
Yeah, they're in the early 70s now.
Concert tour coming up, yeah? Or a stadium tour, aren't they?
I'm sorry?
Aren't the Rolling Stones doing a stadium tour coming up?
Oh, they just did a tour.
Did they? I don't know.
Yeah, no, they did a tour last year. I know my parents went to it. They just did a run. I can't imagine them doing another tour this year.
Yeah, maybe I was thinking about that one last year, but time flies, and you know. You got a tour coming up. No, it was a year ago, man.
Dude, that was 6 months ago. I went to the concert.
Oh shit! Hey, let me give you a call right back. My kid's crying here.
All right, man. What's up, dude?
Shit, man. Sorry about that.
Don't worry.
Yeah, one of my kids bit my other kid.
Well, it sounds like they're getting along just fine.
Something's going on. All right, so I'm going to jump in here for these questions.
All right, I guess if I'm going to do an interview, I guess I need to crack a beer or something, make it comfortable.
Yeah, are you not dressed comfortably? You should dress comfortably as well.
Dude, I'm naked outside having a cigarette. I just wish they didn't live in apartments where the smoking area was in a common place, but, you know, oh well, you know. No, never mind, you've been to my house, so you
I have.
Yeah, I know.
I've seen your company who's watching you bathe naked. Sunbathe naked.
I mean, I can't tell if them staring is a good thing or a bad thing. But I'm going to take it as a good thing, you know, because, you know, everybody, when they don't understand something, they take it aggressively. I say take it with, you know, like, okay, cool, you know, because at least everybody stays happy.
It works, right?
Yeah. All right, my friend, fire away.
All right, so right off the bat, you have today I saw on your Facebook that you now have a new guitar deal in the works.
I have my first ever like real guitar endorsement. Yes, I've been endorsed with by Lace Pickups for the past year. Mm-hmm. They make great pickups. As you know, you have a couple Lace pickups yourself. They make great pickups, and I've been using them in a variety of guitars. And through a good buddy of mine, Brandon Hardesty of Bumpin' Uglies, I was able to get in contact with Rich Hannon of PRS Guitars. And they offered me an endorsement. I mean, I'm not a big level guitarist. They're not going to be sending me some like $12,000 Paul Reed Smith private stock, but they're guitars that are in my price range that, especially I take on the road, mm-hmm. are phenomenal guitars. I played a few of their SE Custom 24s and Custom 22s. I really like the 24s a lot. Great ebony fretboard, humbuckers with a coil tap, so each one could be run as single coil or humbucker. Beautiful guitars, just you can tell they're built really well. So I'm really stoked to start playing PRS guitars. Are you
going to play them stock as you get them, or are you already planning on going in and messing with them a little bit?
You know, I don't think there isn't a guitar that I haven't messed with a little bit. And so I definitely plan on I'm having some fun with it as soon as I get it. And I will definitely make sure to let everybody know what I did to it, so that way, you know, people can kind of get an idea of what you can and can't do with guitars. I've talked to another buddy of mine who's who like me was for years a Les Paul player, and he switched a few years ago to PRSs. And he told me honestly, there's not much you got to switch out to make these absolutely phenomenal guitars, and really at a good price for people like myself and a lot of people who follow my band. We're working class people who can't afford a $2,000-$3,000 guitar, right? You know. And at the same time, I tour in a 15-passenger van with a 5x8 trailer. It makes no sense to me to throw a $3,000 guitar back there.
Yeah, it's a lot of risk.
Yeah, it's like you know, hey, we saw him pull up in this little 15-passenger van with a little trailer, and he gets on stage with a $3,000 PRS. Let's do that shit. You know, that's what people think. So when they see you with cheaper guitars, they go, "Oh man, it's nothing." But you can really take, you know, some of these lower model guitars, you know, and really with the right setups and right components changed out in them for relatively really cheap, you can have phenomenal guitars. And that's what I like to do with my guitars, and that's what I plan on displaying with even the PRSs, which stock. I was playing one at Guitar Center the other day. It's a phenomenal guitar. I mean, the only thing I would have changed on it, if you handed me that guitar and said, you have to use this tonight, you can change one thing, what would you change? I would just lower the action, and I would be good to go for a show.
Mm. Nice. That's not much to do at all.
Because I like my action really low.
Yeah. Now, going all the way back, when did you start playing guitar?
I started playing guitar when I was 12.
Okay.
So, I actually got my first guitar. I still own it to this day. It's a Les Paul knockoff. I didn't think it had a name on it. Bolt-on neck Les Paul. I got it when I was 11 out of a pawn shop. And my dad handed me one of those old Mel Bay guitar books. You know, he bought the book with it when he got me the guitar.
Uh-huh.
And he said, all right, master this book, stick on it, practice on a regular basis for 1 year. And if you do good for 1 year, I'll get you guitar lessons. 1 year later, I had mastered the book through and through, and my dad had no choice but to give me guitar lessons, which started the obsession with where I am today.
Now, what bands were you listening to when you started playing guitar?
When I first started playing guitar, Guns N' Roses was a huge, huge influence on me at
Awesome.
the time. Of course, you know, the Beatles and Jimi Hendrix and Eric Clapton were regulars played in my household. So definitely for me, though, I would say the first two guitar players that caught my attention that were in my parents' bands were Slash of Guns N' Roses and CeCe DeVille of Poison. I was a big fan of both those bands. Hey, I know Poison. They were pretty. Okay, you can't deny them that.
They were pretty okay.
They were pretty. Hey, Bret Michaels one of the prettiest singers of the '80s. I saw it on VH1. It's a fact, my friend. You know, but no, CeCe DeVille was a phenomenal guitar player, really well trained. He has some really memorable licks. So from him, I gained the idea of creating like a memorable lick that people can kind of hum along to.
Mm.
And with Slash, it was just straight raw energy. Yeah, I really loved his raw energy. So those two guitar players are the ones that jumped out to me at an early age when I first picked a guitar.
Uh-huh.
And then from there on, the whole grunge movement came in for a few years. Nirvana, Pearl Jam, Stone Temple Pilots, Soundgarden, Alice in Chains. I was definitely playing a mixture of all those bands and learning their songs. And then teenage years, I found punk rock, and well, here we are today. Still in the punk rock reggae. I still remember I was 15 in high school when a buddy of mine, Lex Murphy, who's no longer with us, he was one of the first bass players I jammed with in high school, too. He came up to me one day and was like, hey, man, let's switch some CDs. He was going through my CDs. You remember the days when you would walk around with CDs and a little Walkman in your book bag, and you know, he walked up and was like, hey, let me borrow these two CDs here. Borrow these. And one of them was No Effects, I Heard They Suck Live. The other one was Sublime, 40 Ounces to Freedom.
Nice.
And you can imagine those two albums absolutely changed my life.
And the Bastard Sons Were Born.
Yeah, no shit. It was kind of funny how, when I moved to Atlanta, Georgia, and Clay had just started getting the band going, and they were looking for a lead guitar player, and you know, he called my cousin and was like, hey, my cousin just moved down from North Carolina. He's into the same music as you. Who would have thought me in the Charlotte area, North Carolina, and Clay in St. Simons, Georgia, somehow got into the exact same styles of music, states and hundreds of miles apart.
Yeah.
But we did. So, but yeah, that's where music went for me.
Now,
Started off, and of course I love the classics, Jimi Hendrix, B.B. King, Eric Clapton, Rory Gallagher, Stevie Ray Vaughan. Those were also music was constant in my household. So listen to those artists on my own independently. Also, not just my parents pushing, but I chose to listen to those artists.
Yeah, same here. Yeah, I had a similar musical upbringing. Now, how does the writing process go for Bastard Sons? Because the styles of your songs span a pretty broad spectrum.
It really, a lot of times it is Clay will come to us and say, hey, I've got this idea. Here's the basic chords to it. He first started writing the way I describe him is like a singer, punk reggae singer-songwriter. He writes he'll come up with a chord progression that's based around the vocals. He'll come up with the melody and the vocals first, and then he'll put some chords around it, then he'll bring it to the musicians, and we'll take it from there. We'll add little tags, and we'll change up the riffs to make them a little more interesting. Write solos, and even we'll bring in. I'll come up with some like guitar riffs and have an idea or a little a line or a melody to go with it, and I'll send that to play. And we've even before had songs where the musicians were just jamming on something in the practice space, and we were arranging it. Go for Broke is a prime example of that. The way you hear it in the beginning, that's pretty much what me, our old bass player, and Levon White and old drummer JT were writing in practice space, just the three of us. And we started coming up with that. I had the riff and a little doo-doo-doo-doo-doo, little lead riff and Go for Broke. And then I just told him the chords, and we started building it from there. And Clay was sitting in the den and could hear us clear as day, and he started writing lyrics. So it's just everything comes together just in different ways. Clay will hit me up and go, "Hey man, have you ever played bluegrass before?" And I was like, "No." He goes, "Well, I heard this bluegrass song. I think it'd be great fun. Time for you to learn. Call you later, dude," and hang up. And I'm like, "Son of a bitch. Bluegrass is not easy." But it was just doing stuff like that, and we'd come up with covers, and one person would have one idea, another person would have another idea. It's really when you start bringing ideas together and work on them as a group, you'd be surprised what sounds you can come up with. And don't be scared to try something that at first thought may not work, but you never know. It may work, so just go for it. I mean, we've had songs that Clay had written the lyrics but had no music to, and I happened to have written some music that it fit to perfectly. And then other people threw in their ideas for changes, and boom, there was a song.
Yeah.
We've had songs take weeks to write. We've had songs take minutes.
Does being on opposite sides of the country make it harder now for you guys to work on new material?
It does, but it also gives us some awesome freedom to work on stuff independently and be able to use modern technology like camera phones and videos and sound bites to send those back and forth and create ideas. Because I can tell you, I've created an idea on the acoustic and sent it to Clay and had one complete vision of a song to go with that. And then when I got into town, it was the complete 180 twist from what I had originally thought. But he had this great idea, and it worked. So we're just running with it. So, and then on this next upcoming tour, we're definitely going to be using a lot of sound checks and stuff like that to start building over new material, be writing it on the road, Go back. It's going to be nice to go back. The last album, we did the whole, we created demos. Clay had some songs, and he would send them to us, and we created demos and went to the studio and wrote the song, finished the songs in the studio, and then recorded them and went from there. And that album came out great. And so with this one, we're like, all right, let's go back to an old school style of writing. We're writing while on the road. So let's write while life's happening and see what comes from that. Because sometimes Clay doesn't like to write on the road. He likes to live life and then come home, reflect on it, and then write his lyrics.
Right.
So sometimes I like to write on the road because you never know. People are bored and they got to get some energy out, so give them a creative way to do it. Why not something better than a new song?
Yeah. Now, you mentioned the tour. You guys have a fairly lengthy West Coast tour coming up. Are you guys going to any places that you haven't been before?
Oh, man. Most of the places on this tour we have been to. There may be a couple, small stops, in between bigger cities and stuff like that we haven't been to. But for the most part, this tour will be hitting a lot of common stomping grounds. And to be honest, I'm not really 100% sure. We played so many places that I don't remember. I feel like, dude, it's our first time here. It's our third time west. It's our third time here. It really does happen. I can tell you, our first 4 or 5 national tours like this, you could have 2 years later turned to me and said, "Hey Wes, where do we play on this date with who or what venue?" And I could have gave you every bit of information. Once you get about 7, 8 national tours in, people are like, "Hey Wes, where were you on this date? Where am I tonight?" It's just it really happens. I will say I do pretty decent at keeping track of what day it is. Because when you're going and sometimes you have a Monday off and the next week you have Sunday off, but you're playing Monday, you just lose track. It's not like a normal Monday through Friday thing, and then we have the weekend off. And no, we completely lose track of days, and not too bad. We're pretty good. Cell phones help make that possible.
Is this going to be your first tour with just the one guitar player now?
No. We've been I've been the lone guitar player since April of 2012. That's when Kevin Howell, our last rhythm guitar player, left the band to settle down.
I thought it was more recently.
No. Our longtime drummer JT left.
Maybe that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, so we had to replace our longtime drummer. So yes, in a way, it sucked when we lost a rhythm guitar player because I like the fullness of the sound on stage when sound's done correctly. But at the same time, I liked how my title changed from the lead guitarist to the guitarist.
Right.
It's almost like Jet Li's the one.
Right.
It's like I feel like that's moving up in the world. So I'm gonna take it take it with a grain of salt a little bit. I do miss in a way having a rhythm guitar player. At the same time, it's really nice and tight, and we do well as just a 3-piece musicianship with 2 vocalists. So you never know. We could one day bring around another rhythm guitar player. We could just stay as 3 musicians and 2 singers. With the Bastard Sons. If you would have asked me 6-7 years ago, would you guys have a female singer in the band one day? I would have said, and laughed at you. But we have one now, and I love Whitney, and she's an awesome addition to the band. So, you just never know where the course of the band is going to go. I joined the band a little over 10 years ago now. So, it's been fun. So we never know. I do miss having a rhythm guitar player, though, at times.
Now you mentioned...
Nice have... I'm sorry?
Go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just talking more shit about that. I'm talking about nothing important.
So, once the tour is done, do you guys have plans to go into and start recording an album?
We've definitely been in talks of that. We've definitely thrown around some ideas of going in and doing a new album. We've also been in talks of possibly, we've released 4 full-length studio albums, so we feel like it may be time to release a live album as well. Because as you heard me say earlier, an album that really caught my attention as a youth was No Effects, I Heard They Suck Live. Right. And I will also throw in there, another huge influence me was Social Distortion's Live at the Roxy.
Yeah.
So live albums, we still feel have a very, very strong part in the music world these days. So we never know, but we definitely, within the next couple of years, definitely expect some new music from us. But as far as what we're going to do after this tour, we're going to discuss that on this tour. We don't like to plan things out too far in advance. We kind of just like to roll with the punches and see what feels right.
Awesome. Well, is there anything else you want the beautiful people of Earth to know about yourself or the band?
The only thing I can say for myself and for the band is go out and support local music. Go out and support upcoming bands. The guys in the band include myself. We do go out to shows. I know you've been playing some weekday shows here, so don't go calling me out. You've been playing some weekday shows, and I got the woman bitching at me about that. So I ain't getting in trouble over you, homie. I'm about to go on tour. But no, I want people to know that hey, it's a tough market out there for not only musicians but for the common working person. So as we support you, we've all worked service industry, everything like that. We're good tippers. We're easy customers. We take care of our people. So we ask you, hey, if you support good music and you support the arts, come out and support a show. Come out and buy a CD, buy a shirt. We're not going to go, sweet, now let me go back to my Rolls Royce and roll back to my mansion. We're not one of those bands. We just want to be able to tour a couple times a year, bring some good music to some good people, and just enjoy this beautiful thing we all call life.
Awesome. As long as it's on a weekend, of course.
As long as it's on a weekend, man. Well, we're getting a little older here, and you punks are going on at midnight on a Thursday night, man. And yeah, I'm going to sound like an old man here, but dude, my girl's got me trained nicely into getting to bed at a decent time, waking up and getting shit done. Call me an old fogey all you want, but I already done my part of years, man. I got plenty of stories. I got plenty.
Awesome. Well, thanks, Wes. I appreciate you taking the time to talk to me.
We're done that. Now, as buddy to buddy, I was telling you about that Les Paul earlier.
What are y'all doing in here?
We're smoking reefer, and you don't want no part of this shit.
Come on, Dewey. Join the party.
You know what? I don't want no hangover. I can't get no hangover.
It doesn't give you a hangover.
I get addicted to it or something?
It's not habit forming.
I don't know. I don't want to overdose on it.
You can't OD on it.
It's not gonna make me want to have sex, is it?
It makes sex even better.
It sounds kind of expensive.
It's the cheapest drug there is. You don't want it.
I think I kind of want it.
Okay, but just this once. Come on in.
Come on, can I get a little sweet leaf right between my teeth? Can I get a little sweet leaf right between my teeth? Oh, yeah, can I get a little sweet leaf right between my teeth? Oh, can I get a little sweet leaf right between my teeth? Come on, can I get a little sweet leaf right between my teeth? Man, I can't lie, see, I get high like 7 days a week. In a world so cold, sometimes it's my only relief. If I could, I'd hang it on my front door like it was a Christmas wreath. Come on, can I get a little sweet leaf right between my teeth? Man, I can't lie, see, I get high like 7 days a week. In a world so cold, sometimes it's my only relief. If I could, I'd hang it on my front door like it was a Christmas wreath. Let's go. I'd like to buy the world a token, teach the world to smoke it perfect harmony. I think there'd be a whole lot less people die until she crying, dodge a fly in the brink. Maybe it's only through bloodshot eyes that the wise can finally see. Sweet leaf just helps me to breathe. Maybe that's just me. So can I kick a little sweet leaf right between my teeth? Man, I can't lie, see, I get high like 7 days a week. In a world so cold, sometimes it's my only relief. If I could, I'd hang it on my front door like it was a Christmas wreath. One more time, can I kick a little sweet leaf just to puff up my cheeks? I like to smoke until I choke and lose the power to speak. Maybe sometimes I'm lazy and my memory's weak, but I still do know that Maputo's the capital of Mozambique. Yeah!